I know this has happened in your own rose garden. You've got a group of rose bushes, in this case it's all one variety, and they're getting taller than you'd like them to be. I'd actually like these to be down about here to fit the rest of the bed behind me. The question is, can you go ahead and trim these during the growing season? For some reason with roses, we've always been taught you can only prune them or groom them or trim them during pruning season. And there's no reason for that. I can't come up with one, I've never found one. So we're going to give you a couple little simple tips here on how to trim these roses all season long to keep them in the shape and size you'd like them to be. Let's first talk about the best time to do this. I like to do this between bloom flushes. What's a bloom flush? A bloom flush is when the rose is at peak flower, covered with roses. That's a bloom flush. Right now I'm between bloom flushes. You don't see too many flowers on this. We've had a lot of rain. A lot of them are even rotted at this point from the rain that we've had. The petals have dropped off. So this is the time to get in and do this. And I can do this all season long between every single bloom flush in order to keep this rose constantly shaped and trimmed and groomed throughout the entire season. Next thing to consider is what's the height that I can go to. I generally think don't cut by more than a half. I like to cut by no more than a third as a general rule. If I need a rose this low, then I planted the wrong bush. That's all part about making sure you plant the right rose in the right place. But this plant, as you can probably see, has right about in here, seems to have a pretty natural height. So I'm thinking I can take a lot of these leggy pieces out and bring this whole thing down very, very comfortably. And that's what we're going to begin right now. I'm going to bring you in closer and show you a little more detail what I'm doing. Okay, we're down here inside the bush now, and you can see this is a long piece. This is where the height I want to be. I'm fairly tall here. I'm just going to follow this down, and I'm going to cut to a bud eye about 6 inches below where I want to be. What is a bud eye, you say? Well, we talk about that in anatomy of a rose, but to show you very quickly, you see where this leaf hits this stem? If I peel that back, that little swelling right there, that's a bud eye. That's what I want to cut about a half an inch above that. You hear about inward and outward facing bud eyes. I don't worry a great deal about it with shrub roses because I like a nice bush with blooms in all different directions. So I'm just going to keep cutting down in here and finding this nice healthy growth. I'm going to cut above that healthy growth, and I'm going to go through the entire plant, and you can already see where it's beginning to come down just by taking these long leggy shoots out of this plant. I've been working on this for maybe about 5 minutes, no more than that. And I brought you back in because I just want to show you I'm not agonizing over each and every cut. I'm just going where there's a dead flower, following it down to the height I want it to be, and I'm just cutting. I am cutting above that bud eye, I am doing that, but I'm not going to agonize over each individual cut that I'm making. And that's the thing, you don't have to. You can move through fairly quickly and not slave over this. I'm just making a few finishing touches here, and then basically that's it, I'm done. You can see how greatly reduced the height of the entire plant is. One of the also keys to remember is make sure you do this right after the bloom flush, because if you wait too long, you'll get new growth like this, and you don't want to cut that because that's where your next flowers are going to come from. So the important thing to remember is this. Yes, you can cut roses all season long. You can do it between the bloom flushes, and that way you can groom them, keep them in shape, not let them get out of hand, all during the growing season and not just at pruning time.